Good evening and welcome to my stream. Let's see, it looks like I have 2 viewers. That's awesome. So tonight I'm going to be doing a little bit of work on the tram, on the, not tram, actually, it's a cable car from San Francisco. And as you can see, I've already done a little bit of work tonight. I've been painting the levers, and paint is not quite dry yet, so I can glue them together, but I did started painting this one black. It's supposed to be red, but I did the handles, and it was kind of funny because the handles say to let's see, hang on. I saw a comment on YouTube, but I don't see. Oh, there it is. Hey, Casey, welcome. Hey, Don. Oh, Keith. Okay, but it's kind of funny because this says to use this brown, and I've got the colors that are for this kit, and it's kind of it was kind of odd because it doesn't show a brown. The closest thing it had was the well, it's this brown, but it's not in the kit. Wasn't in the colors, but I used in OcCre. So let me go ahead and press on. Not sure how much I'm going to do because there's not a whole lot going on right now. But I am kind of proud about this right here. It says to cut these rods. These rods go in here. Rod goes in there. It is part of the cable mechanism that goes down through the floor of the tram or the cable car and actually engages the cable under the street. Apparently, this is not going to want to fit in here now. Let's try it from the other side. The paint is actually pretty dry. And I've got the paint sitting there to do touch-ups if I need to. But I was really proud of this, and it might be that I've got the wrong one of these, because what I did was I sat there and I sanded it and sanded it and sanded it, just the tip of one end, until it would actually just push in here, and no glue will be needed to hold it in place. Like I said, maybe it was this one, maybe it's the little layer of paint that I put on there. It's making the difference. So let's push. Yeah. Actually, it is the difference between the two of them. You can see, I think that rod looks really sharp. And although it does look like, it kind of looks like the paint is chipped. It's just that it's a glossy paint. Since this one is basically done, because it's going to be two of the same thing, one here on each end of the car. Let me go ahead and close the paint. What's funny is I have these same bottles. I bought them on Amazon. Where is it? There you go. Right now I have glue in mine. So OcCre contracted with somebody to mix their paint. I think it's kind of neat that I have the same paint bottles. But let me move this over here and see if we can get this one piece in place. Actually, before I do that, let's not be completely scatterbrained. Let's finish painting the parts that get painted. So let me paint this one red, or these two red. Then we'll build the other one of those, and then we'll start gluing things into the kit or into the train. That should be about enough. And if you've watched my channel before, I've seen it on the live streams. I have what is affectionately known as the brush toilet set up. It You push the button here, the water goes away. Let's clean your brush in fresh water every time. This might not come out as good as the other one does because it already has black on here. What I did with the handles so that handling them would not mess up the paint too awful much, I actually dipped the handles in future, and I was using my heat gun to try and dry them because they were taking a while to dry. It may the future may reactivate and stick to my finger. It did earlier. I'm putting a little bit thicker coat on here. I want these to look good. They won't be too bad because they are actually between the seats. So you'll see mainly just the very top. I'm also looking to put figures in here to give it a little bit more life. I am going to put some lights in. Still haven't figured out what exactly I'm going to do for lights. A couple of things I know I'm going to do is the interior lights in the center of the passenger compartment. Those I've done before, and so those won't be too bad. They use the exact same lights on other OcCre trams, so I know exactly what to do with it. The only problem is the old ones, or the last one I did, the Lisbon tram, the lights actually had a false ceiling that they went through, so I had an area that I could put the wiring into. These do not. The ceiling on the cable car is the ceiling is the roof of the car. So if I put wires up through there, they're actually going to show on top of the car. Most likely what I'm going to do is just run magnet wire across the roof or the ceiling and see how it turns out. And if you watched the live stream yesterday on HTM, I painted this. I painted the floor, screwed up and painted it with, did what I thought was just regular craft paint. It is a metallic black, which is why it's got the gold flakes in it. But the interesting thing is, and I thought this might be the case, is that while the paint did not work perfectly on the wood, it works really well right there on the metal. Like I said, brush toilet. Clean the brush, fresh water, dump, and now the brush is ready to go, and the water's clean. And I brought the primer over. This is the primer that came with the paint kit. Brought it over just in case. Didn't need it. Okay, so start working on this one. And I think I mentioned it said to cut these 3.5 or 35 millimeters is what it said right here. It says one millimeter by 35 millimeters, and that's off screen there. For that brass rod, it's supposed to be 1 millimeter by 35 millimeters. It's not even 30. It's kind of funny when you find instruction faux pas like that. Not a big deal. You adjust, especially on a kit like this where you got basic parts that are pre-cut, and then there's a lot of scratch building. Like these brass rods were coiled. I actually don't think I did too bad straightening them out. And this one's a little bend to it. see if this will fit in place now. Oh, that looks so close. Will it? Very close. Just a little bit more. That, I think, should be enough. If I have to, I'll glue it, but I like the fact that I did. There we go. Oh, so beautiful. I like the fact that I didn't have to glue the other one. You can see it's in place. This one, on the other hand, where the other one I said did not need to, the paint wasn't actually chipping. This one is a little bit. So we'll just do a quick touch up over it. I don't want to paint the brass rod because I like that color. I like the way the brass looks in there. Paint is drying a little bit because it's been sitting here for a little while. So that should be good. We'll set that in here to dry and clean the brush. When I bought the, what is it they call it? Oh, brush rinse. When I bought this brush rinser, it was kind of funny because I bought it when it first came out. Saw it on World Wayne, thought, it's not bad for 35 bucks or 39. Now you can get it for 15. Don't adopt early. Okay. Should need this paint right now. Actually, I do need the paint. I forgot. These two little blocks here are going to go on here. Let's see if the camera will pick it up. Okay. Double check. Yeah. So you see that hole right there. And there's another one identical to it right there. Those are not in the actual tram or the cable car. Those are so that when you put the screw through to hold the wheels on, it will actually hit somewhere. I think that's where the screw will go. That might be where the underneath there's a piece of brass rod that will stick up through the floor or up into the floor that'll stop it from turning. And what I'm thinking is going to be the easier way to do this. I'm going to drop these on here and then paint them. After I clean that off. One of these days I will actually try putting a tip on here. Try putting a tip on the glue so that it will actually give me a little bit more control. That's probably way too much, so let's smear them together. Drop them in here. Actually, let me put this one down. And if you can, I don't know if you can see it, they are part 10. What it says to do is to center it over that hole. Something like that. And actually, I'm very impressed with how quick it grabbed a hold. The same thing with this one. I still need the black for more. I just realized I haven't done the brakes yet. And these are common between OcCre train kits. just a hair. This one needs to move forward just a little bit. Okay. Go ahead and put these on a stick. Actually, let's do it this way. No, we're going to do it this way. We're going to glue these down first. I was just thinking about it. I can put them on the stick and paint them and everything, or I can just glue them down and then paint them because it's black. Not sure how well carpentry paint is going to hold metal, though. Let's find out. I said carpentry paint. Carpenter's glue. Sometimes I just talk and it doesn't come out right. Pedal does not say where the pedal goes. I'm putting it center or centering it generally. I don't know that that's actually going to hold. We'll set it on there and then we'll let it see if it's going to take hold or not. If it doesn't, I do have the super glue handy, which I'm going to be using in just a minute for the levers. There it is. Every now and then I look around my bench and I don't know what I did with something. Okay, is there anything else I need to paint besides those black? I don't think so. Let's put just a couple more drops in here. I guess I can throw that away. Okay. See if I can reactivate the rest of the paint. Might have to use a drop of water in there. Way too much paint on the brush, but that's okay. Like I said, this is actually going to be between the seats, so if the wood grain does show up, if the paint does not create a really solid covering for these blocks, I'm not going to worry about it too much. I've been looking at kits that are probably in my future. It's OcCre's fault. They came out with the Santa Maria, which I've always wanted to do, the Nina Pinta and Santa Maria. And now I've been looking around and they've cost me money probably. Except for instead of buying the OcCre Santa Maria, I'm probably going to buy the Artisania Latanya, however you pronounce that, AL. I'm probably going to buy all three kits from them because right now they have a special. I don't know if it's a permanent special or if it's just right now. They have all three kits in a package with glue, or actually not glue, but with paint and metal figures to be painted for about $400. And that's not going to work. I was afraid that was going to happen. So pull this brake off. Take that glue off a little bit. That should be more than too much glue right there. Let's see if this one, that one's actually kind of grabbing a hold. We'll see if it'll hold up to being painted. In case that anybody's wondering, I do have a wet palette. I just didn't think to get it out. So, okay, so we're going to take a little bit of paint or a little bit of water. We're going to reactivate this paint since it is water-based. I've done that before. It works really well, and you can end up using more of the paint. Okay. There's that. Now let's see if I can paint the brake without it coming off. I don't know that, yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to be happy. Nope, there it goes. What I was going to say is it doesn't look like it's going to be happy with the reconstituted paint. So let me get the dried paint off the brush. Put a drop of super glue right here. One thing about super glue on wooden models, I tend not to use it if I can, because a lot of times it will seep through the wood and you'll be able to tell where it was super glued. It'll leave a telltale sign. I learned that a long time ago. That was when I first started doing wooden models. I've learned a lot since then. Ouch, that was hot. And time to clean the nozzle. After a while, when the glue nozzle starts to get gummed up really bad, I'll just take a pair of needle nose pliers and crack the glue. Sometimes it comes off right away. Sometimes you gotta crack it again or do a little bit of the twist action. When you do that, you end up taking enough of the glue back off of here that it will reseal really well. It's funny because I know some of the guys will get the small bottles of glue because they'll dry out. This one is almost completely empty. I think it's more Ian, it's an Ian thing, I think, a lot of times. Just realized how warm it is here in the shop. I'm going to step away for a second. Just go across the room and turn on the fan so it's not quite so hot. You'll still be able to hear me. I'm just not going to be at the bench. All right. Hopefully that is not creating a huge amount of noise. Usually the mic adjusts pretty well to any extra noise that shows up. Okay. A couple more drops of glue, paint. I do have to say, it's not bad paint. It is actually working really well. Large surfaces, not so much, but it is airbrushable according to their website, their instructions. You thin it with water and you can airbrush it. Haven't tried that yet. I will eventually. I will be honest, out of wooden kits, trains and trams are some of my favorites because I don't have to do a hull, right? Still, planking the hull is my downfall. Hey, Donnie, how goes it? Glad to see you made it off work in time to catch the stream. Okay, almost done with this. One of these days, I'm going to convince Donnie. I will get him convinced to build a wooden kit. Maybe not a wooden ship, but a train or a tram, Donnie, you could do that. This is actually taking a little bit longer than I really expected. He will put lights in it. And, you know, this one will have lights in it as well. Let me see. I don't have a picture handy. I don't think. Oh, it's way over there. Here we go. So it will have a headlight of some sort. Don't tempt me, Donnie. I have a double of one of these trams, but the headlight is going to have light. There's going to be some lights up inside of here, and I'm contemplating if I can put lights in there. I do the Berlin tram from OcCre. No, not the Berlin one. The Stuttgart tram. I do have a second copy. Happened to see it on eBay for like 25 bucks. It was a price I couldn't afford to pass up. So that should be all the painting for tonight. Oh, I know he could do it. Build them at the same time and make it a double decker. Oh yeah, could do that. But why would I do that when I have the London bus? Or not the London bus, I have the London tram, which is a double decker. Adult beverage. Okay. So this is going to be a little bit tricky. So how do they have that? They have it on here. Goes on here like this. And the handle, and then the other side. Not yet. I'm just getting started. Okay. Threw the most recent one away. It's not that hard, Donnie. It is actually very enjoyable. I looked for it. There it is. I looked for it. I put it out to make sure that I had the pin vise available. So let's see. This handle is going to go on here like this. Wouldn't be that hard, Donnie. And these trains and trams are actually really enjoyable and not hard at all. So I want to show you on here, actually on both of these pieces. So on here, there's a pin that will go through the arm here, and then the detail part on both of them to show that, to make it look like something's actually going through. So what I'm going to do, I'm looking over at the instructions to make sure I have this right. No way. Hang on, what happened? Never. So is getting someone else to play with my. Never mind. That one can be put on screen. So Donnie wants somebody to play with his wood. And Keith said, give it time. I blame you. I blame me for buying a wooden ship kit. Me too. I blame you as well. So I looked down at the instructions and I realized that this part right here, they actually have towards the center. So instead of this pin being where the what goes through the arm, it's this pin, this short one. So let's put some glue on here. And then we're going to set this in place and try not to glue myself to it. And I'm also going to put a little bit right there and hold on to it. Well, actually, should be able to set it down. Do the exact same thing with this one. Take this, put the glue on here. Key thing is you do not want to bump these. Oh no. I gotta fix the other one. Put that in place there, set this one down, and realize that I put this arm on backwards. So let's try this again. In the grand scheme of things, it would not matter. It would look great, but as Donnie likes to point out, I would know it was wrong. Let's see. The only thing about wooden kits is the glue takes a bit to dry. I only have an hour or so to build each night, so it would be glue on a few pieces, then have to wait for the glue to dry. Actually, Donnie, that depends on the glue you use. If you use white glue, if you use Elmer's glue or something like that, yes, you're right. It takes a long time. It takes longer to dry. But where the hell did I put that stuff? There it is. Like I said, I've rearranged. But if you use something like this, a wood glue, the wood glue dries really quick. It doesn't set up completely. It's still movable, just like your styrene glue, but it dries fast enough that it'll stick just about as fast as Tamiya extra thin. And then half hour, it's pretty set up. And then, and it fully set in 24 hours, just like most other glues. What did Dash say? Most wooden kits I've dealt with, gear and rocker and the bookend kits are usually other than things that I built by hand. Yeah, that's the thing is I have yet to build one of their OcCre or U-Gear kits. I keep thinking about it. Have not yet done it. So this one was the second one I did. So it should, second one, but the first one I did right. So hopefully it is ready to go in. And the hole in the floor, that hole in the floor, those are designed, those are there just for these two pieces. So this is going to sit in here like that up against the side. I'm going to hold it here for a second. Should stay, hopefully. We're going to do the same thing with this little piece here. And like I said, the wood kit, the carpenter, or wood kit, the wooden glue, the carpenter's glue dries a whole lot faster than the Elmer's glue. Get this on here. Actually, that should be good. I was going to say I'm going to push it over, but it doesn't need to be pushed over. Well, actually, Donnie, the U-Gear kits, never heard of them. But the rocker, the OcCre, they do a lot of the, what are they called? Book nooks. They do the book nooks, they do the marble runs. I look at them and I contemplate them all the time. There's a couple of marble runs that you can actually tie together. And I'm like, I think I want to do that. It's a really neat looking setup because what happens is then you take your two basic book nooks and you put them together, and the marble runs will act, the marbles, as far as I understand, will run off of one motor, but they'll go on both sides of the thing. All right. So let me turn this around and we're going to do the exact same thing on this side. And I believe on the actual cable car, on cable cars, when there's going to be one driver and he's going to be either on the front, or, well, he's going to be on one end of the car. Whichever end of the car he's on, he'll be on. That will be the front. And the other arm is just loose. The other pull arm. Because this arm here goes down into the street and pulls the clamp to actually grab a hold of the cable. Depending on what wood glue you use, some will set up in 15 minutes, like Gorilla Glue that you wet, but it bubbles from reaction. Type bond is 3. Type bond 3 is faster, and exterior type bond 2 is faster than the original type bond. Well, the one that I'm using is actually working perfect. But actually, that now makes sense because I've got 2 different bottles of wood glue. I've got the yellow wood glue that I got from Model Expo, and I've got this, which is the type bond, and this is more liquid than this is. It's a little bit more runny, so I may have to use the other type bond once I run out of that. There's a few brands, it just depends on how fast you want to work with it. And the thing is, well, that's a key thing too, is that with that, it'll set up faster, but you're still able to take it loose and move it around for a little bit. Apparently I got enough super glue on here because I just bumped that one and it stayed in place. There. I was about to say, where are my tweezers? I have to make sure I'm aware of where these arms are. I do not want to break either of them off. So put this on here. Come on, stay there. I'll show you. There's actually a narrow spot there that these sit into on both sides. So now, let's see, 7 and 8 doesn't say what they are. It just says levers. 7 and 8. Because that's the brake. I would hazard a guess, since this one is red, that this would be the emergency brake. So we're just going to glue this on, something like this, something pretty close to straight up. And then we're going to do the same with the red one and attach them to the tram. Keep saying tram. Cable car. And I've got to be very careful, very cognizant of that because I keep bumping that arm. So we'll put that one right about there. And these gears are, all 4 of these gears are identical. Now that that's on there, we put a little drop right there. What's funny is I bought the glue looper. I have glue loopers and I never use them. Matter of fact, Model Expo now sells them. Let's see. How about that? Now I've got to remember that this one is facing the opposite direction. So this one, we're going to put glue on this side instead. I just want to look at it, put it on here and look at it the way it is going to be when I put it on the cable car. same thing for this one. Set it somewhat close to the same position. Drop it right there. They do, and sometime what I need to do, Donnie, is bring the Madrid tram on one of the streams, because the Madrid tram has a wooden roof instead. Those teams, I didn't even catch that. I didn't see the teams. I saw the loan of bread. And that's the thing, is that they look as good or as bad as you want them to. That Lisbon tram went through a lot. It fell off a table. It shouldn't be in existence anymore. I dropped it off of a table. I was really upset when that happened. Yeah, that'll work. So what I'm putting this into is there is a slot in the floor. A slot right there in the floor where that goes into, and I'm not going to mess with it. I'm looking at it. That one was a little bit further down than it should be. This one should be okay. Because that one, the gear is actually sticking up from the floor. Autocorrect hates you tonight. I didn't drop my wood. I'll drop my loaf of bread, Donnie. Note to self, if anybody, well, not so much to self, but note to anybody who does, if they do this, never mind. There is no way, because that is up at the top. There's no way that would sit flush. I think when I fit it in there before, it didn't. And it's not straight. Come on, stand up straight. But yeah, it was terrible what happened with that Lisbon tram. It rolled off of the table behind me, dropped about 3 feet to the floor, and both ends the cab popped off. Thanks, Keith. And let me run through the comments. Drop my wood. At least I didn't hit it with a hammer. And Keith says it looks good. Appreciate it. But no, the Lisbon tram was car in the middle, 2 ends that attach, which most of them are like that. The full car length being like this is unique, I think, to the cable car. But it rolled off. It had rolled off the table, and both ends snapped off. I almost threw it away at that point, but I did have the diorama for it, and so I picked it up, I put it back together, and then I looked at it and went, "Wait a minute! There's supposed to be lights in the cab. There were no lights in the cab on either end anymore," and I was sad about that. So I went in there and I soldered the SMD back on there. Little bitty wires. I had about this much room to spare on those wires. I was very happy that it actually turned out okay. Not sure how well these are going to stay in place. Kind of look like they're not going to. Actually, I'm putting glue on the spots that it's not going to touch. Hopefully that will stay in place. All the parts I had out are now on the cable car. Let's clean some glue off of here. Let's see. Those are still not setting up. But let's see. So we're going to cut out 13. Looks like there's 4 of them. So 12, 16, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. So set this up here. We'll bring it back in a little bit before I shut down. Bring the wood over. Let's see. I don't think there. None of them on there. Not on there. Oh, wait, there they are. I'm a dork. Okay. Set this one over here. Where did I put there? So we have 13. This is where, if I was doing a video, I'd say, okay, cut one out. Let me pause the camera. Come on. So this is 13, and usually it will have a little green diamond in the corner telling you how many you need. It does not. But I can see I've got 4 benches. No, 4 times that. I've got 4 benches, so I'm going to need, well, we'll do one at a time. I should need all 8 of the 13s, but I think I have more than 8. Nope, there's only 8 13s. When am I starting the tower? I do not know. I need to get a part work done first. Probably once the alien is done, I'll start the Eiffel Tower. That one's going to take a lot of room, and it's going to be one of these things that it has to be on the bench the whole time, because it's not really going to be conducive to movement a whole lot, I don't think. One more. And these, I will tell you, these look really rough in the pictures. I don't think you have to every time cut from both sides. I like to do that because I have had parts break coming out of the plywood, I guess is what you'd call it. It's not really sprue. So we've got these 13s enough for one side. Let's see, 14 is right here. I guess since I can see, I know where it's at, let's take it out of here. Looks like 15 and 16 are somewhere else. So just out of curiosity, is 6 o'clock Central a good time for everybody? You know, what I'm thinking a lot about is the fact that Donnie often does not get home until like 7 o'clock. Should I shift to 7 o'clock? Because I think I'm going to start back doing this every Monday instead of occasionally. Especially if I have something like this that works well for a stream that I can continue on. Okay, that should be good on that one. Twelve, 16, and 15. There we go. Of 16 and 15. It's up to you guys. Because if we go a little bit later, that means I can get a nap. I'm big into naps these days. I think it comes with being almost 60. I know for a while too, Donnie, that when I would do, a couple of times I know I did 7 o'clock, and they made you work later. Nissan just hates you. One. That's why that one wasn't coming out. Missed a spot. There's one. I get sleep, Donnie. Well, the sad part is I'd like to say I get lots of sleep, but I don't. I'm good for about 5 hours of sleep a night, 5 to 6. On a good night, I can get 7. But usually I wake up about 6 hours after I go to bed. And it's not, just open my eyes and go, okay, it's too early. I wake up and my body says, you're done, get up. Okay. It just depends on whether you're on overtime or not, and how much. So for right now, we'll plan on 6 o'clock. 16, 12, 15, 16. Okay. I'm just sorting out how this is actually going to fit together. Johnny wakes up at 6 on weekends to walk Jack. Dash says, never sure if I could make streams depending on what I'm doing. By the way, you were cutting parts of plywood off. Just number. Well, actually, the plywood is not marked. All the number marks on there are from me. That's the first step in almost every OcCre kit is number your parts. So let's see, 14. Just looking at this. Oh, okay. So we have to push these out. I'm actually using a dull knife right now. On most wood kits that in my experience, the parts are not numbered on the sprue at all. Okay, so that's 12. 12 goes on here. I'm just going to dry fit these to figure out exactly how they go together. I think 12 goes on there. 16 goes with the notch down. 15 has no notch. 12 is supposed to go in there. It does not fit. There it is. Also, that clock I made a while ago was Roker kit. New Gears comes from Ukraine. They started Kickstarter. Roker actually started after them. And now everyone does it. I think what I think that you mean is that they do the, you have to number your parts yourself. So, see if I can file this down enough to actually fit that in there. And the key thing is 12 actually has a keyway back here. Would help if I'm putting it on the right side. A minute. Yeah, that way. Try this again. I'm trying to avoid breaking the wood. I was working on the Disney dollhouse and had a couple of spots where the wood got broken. A smart man would put glue in here because glue is actually lubrication for this, but nobody said I'm smart. But 14 will fit in place. 15 will fit in place. 13 does not want to fit in place right now. 16 will fit in place like this. And that's kind of how the benches are going to start out, with a 13 on either end here. It'll fit on the top here, but it won't fit over top of the knob there from 12. Okay, so let's go ahead and set these parts down. My handwriting is something terrible sometimes. Okay, so we've got 15s, 12s, 16s, 14s, oops, 2 14s, 13s. Okay, just making sure I've got everything there. Speaking of Jack, they took him to the vet Saturday to have stitches out this ear and check the spot. Came back and said, "Oh man, that's terrible, Donnie. Hopefully he's doing okay." And judging by how fast the spot came back after having it removed, it's very aggressive skin cancer. That means he's probably not going to be long for this world, which is really sad because I know Jack is a really cool dog. Good morning, Penny. Your timing is impeccable. Because actually, okay, so Keith says, "Sorry to hear that, Donnie." And Dash says, "Kids have done all the parts have been pre-marked. Midori isn't. A lot of the kits are not pre-marked." But as I was saying, Penny, I was actually going to drop off now because I try and do about an hour on Mondays. And so I'm going to call it, guys. Very sorry to hear about Jack, Donnie. Prayers are with him. Hopefully he won't suffer a lot. You know, and if it's time, it's time. We've had to put down 2 pups in the last couple of years, and it still chokes me up when I think about them. Yes, we will miss his loud snoring on stream. Can't take in too much info anyway. I got brain implosion. I understand that. The one bit of information you want to take from this is that where's that? This is a really cool kit. I really like the OcCre trams and the cable car. But like I was saying, I appreciate everybody stopping by, watch me build a model a little bit. I'm not going to steal Jordan's line. I do that often enough in my videos. I will probably do. Oh yes, I have the London one as well, Penny. But I will. Oh wait, before I drop off, hang on. Let's get a close up because I did show, and you can see right there. That's a marking in the wood, but there's where we're at. Thanks, Donnie. There's where we're at. Got the levers on there, and this is going to be, this kit will be both stream and video. Thanks, Keith. So I will see you all on the next video stream or what have you. London one looks like it runs along routes I used to drive a bus on. Very cool. The London one is going to, I think it has the same problem that the bus did. I forget the name of that bus. The one that you're doing now is the curved metal at the back. I believe it has that as well. Thanks, guys. I will see you next time. Next time I'll be on a stream, or well, next time I'll be on a video is tonight. Of course, I've been hitting almost every day for the last year. But the next time I'll be on the stream is on the Falcon stream on Wednesdays. So I will see you all. Have a great night. Have a great day tomorrow, and we'll see you.
Model mania, hard work models, plastic modeling, wooden models. Workman's model mania, hard work models, plastic modeling, wooden